Big up to all those in YouTube land. Chelsea versus Forest tomorrow in a crunch Champions League tie. And look who we found sitting in his cave. Let's get into this. Big up to all those in YouTube. Yeah, I know, it's so catchy, isn't it? And it's Captain Scott. Oh, let's go, Lady Penelope. All that old school shit. But anyway, big up to all those in YouTube land. I hope everyone is well. Obviously, I've got my usual partner in crime, JPT, for a bit of a special Blues Brothers preview because we have a long-haired one. We found him eating Spurs fans in his cave, and he's popped out for a little while because he said he was hungry. So we let the guy eat, and here he is. Big up, long-haired Yeti. How are you?
I'm all good, mate. I'm absolutely all good, and thank you for having me on. Sorry for being late. Just couldn't make my mind up whether I wanted to eat something or whether I didn't. So, and then right towards last minute, which is what I normally do, I'm fucking starving. So I had to go and get something to eat. So I apologise for that. And,
no, that's all right. No worries, man. I wasn't doing anything. No, I'm joking.
It's like people sort of see it as you're keeping people waiting and stuff like that, and I'm not one of those.
But you know, the worst thing about it is my chat has been more busy during this waiting period than it has been during a normal live stream. People are telling me I'm pulling rabbits out of arseholes and everything. It's quite a magic. Yeah, the wrong side of magic, as Stepsy put it. But and apparently JPT's ass is apparently sore. How are you, JPT? Are you feeling any better now?
That rabbit's up the ass in there.
well, we kind of need a rabbit out of a hat, but not out of your arsehole tomorrow, don't we? Yeah, something. We need something because, like, our record against you guys recently isn't good, is it, JPT? We've kind of sucked when we play against Forest recently. I think we beat you away. Didn't we beat you at home last season? But you beat us at home last season.
I think didn't we do the double on you last season?
No, we won the last game of the season. At the
I don't know. I'm just a Forest fan. I don't fucking know any stats or anything.
But first half of the season, you beat us.
I get alcohol in between there, mate. So I don't know.
None of us know. Hang on. Let me check my data bank, babe. Can you can you check the previous result? I should have checked this really. But... yeah, no. Forgive me. I should have checked this beforehand, but forget it. It's a special weekend for me, so I don't care. I'm not going to mention what it is. I'll let Kate figure it out. But give me a second. But yeah, on like what's been going on this season, right? Yeah, describe to me, and I'll ask JPT to sum it up for us in a second. But describe to me how you feel this season's gone for you guys.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I cannot take anything away from this management, this owner, and these players because they've allowed me to dream. I was even dreaming at one point when we was in third, and I went on Sky Bet and put money on winning the league. You know,
the league.
We was at that point. We was playing really well and we was winning a hell of a lot of games. So, you know. I wasn't like 100% on it, but I thought, oh, sorry, it's only a tenner, isn't it? You know, being a rich YouTuber like I am and that. So.
yeah. Come on, man. You thought you guys were going to do a Leicester, innit? Yeah.
I did. Yeah, there was a point where I did think that. And to be quite honest, I had no issue with Chelsea, as you know. I've got other teams that I have issues with. Arsenal's one of them because they've got so many twat fans. And... you know,
well, hang on. Well, historically, you lot have always hated Arsenal anyway. Yeah, going back to all the way it rivals in the 80s and the 70s as well. Like, you know what I mean? At one point, you were title rivals.
Yeah, it's a new hate. You know, I don't want to live in the past, even though I go on about the European Cup all the time. But this is a new hate for them because they are absolute retards. Not all of them, obviously. You know, there's some decent ones I know. but a lot of them are just stupid. I mean, when Spurs won that, you just got to say, well done, you won. But no, they go, oh, well, it's not really a real competition and all. Wait a minute, Spurs went to Europe and won something. They don't have bragging rights like we do. There won't be bragging
Thanks,
rights
buddy.
like Forest or Chelsea or Man United, yeah, because they beat them. But,
No, Man United got no bragging rights right now. Sorry, that's.
Yeah, but I'm just saying what they've actually done in the past. I mean, but
Mhm.
not done jack shit, have they? They go to Europe, look at the trophy, and then leave and go home.
Well,
Can't barbecue,
on Spurs, they're like Newcastle. That they need something that will believe that will spark them into life, and it'll build into the. Because let's be honest, if Spurs do nothing next season, then as much as they love this trophy, it would have led to naught. Because normally it's unless you win a major trophy like the Champions League or the Premier League, really, the cups nowadays, especially the lower tier cups, have been kind of shoved to one side in a lot of people's point of view, and that's sad to me.
It is.
And the thing is nowadays, like with Spurs as well, like where they're trying to be, even though they're a Champions League, I can't believe they're a Champions League team. It was 17. That's just. How can you be?
You know what, mate? I mean, I know you won't agree with this because you're London. You've got rivalry, but for me, I want to actually lift it.
Thank you, buddy.
The icing on the fucking cake for me.
What's that? What? Spurs winning the trophy.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when it came down to it, I wasn't necessarily good for Spurs winning a trophy, but JP will tell you this. I completely hate Mason Mount. I don't like that guy at all. And that's the reason why I would rather have seen Spurs win it than Man United. Because, all right, people will say, oh, you shouldn't do that. They're a London rival and all that. But no offense, when you got our ex-Rats in your team, sorry. You know what I mean? The guy wanted to leave for so long that he had to redo his goodbye video twice. Like, just, nah, man. Like, just no. And you had that dumbass haircut. Just, nah. I'm not on it. But on Spurs, and the thing is, right, I think you said about with the Arsenal perspective, when you think about the amount of London clubs that are winning trophies and can still win trophies, and they're sitting at the end of it all empty, because look, Palace won the FA Cup, Spurs have won the Europa League, Chelsea can possibly win the Europa Conference League, Liverpool have won the league itself. You know what I mean? And it's a big slap in the face to people like Man City and Arsenal, considering that's all anyone was talking about for the last 5 seasons. Even though, like you said, Arsenal didn't actually achieve much, and Man City have kind of completely dropped. They may not even get Champions League football.
No.
Because I don't think my City hates dropped as well. Because I'm hoping they have a terrible season and they get knocked out of the Champions League spots as well. It probably won't happen because who they've got for their last. They got Southampton, haven't they? The last game.
Arsenal.
They got Arsenal in the last game of the season.
No, Arsenal got Southampton. City had Fulham at Craven Cottage.
That's it. Yeah, Fulham.
Budgie says, nah, bruv, if there's any chance of bringing a trophy to London, I will support the London club for the odd 90 minutes. Hey, brother, I'm not... I understand that and about loyal to London, but as I said, man, Money Mace, the rat, I don't want to see him lift silverware. It's not, because realistically, when you look at Man United or Spurs winning a trophy, when you're given that particular choice, it sucks either way. So you just have to make the best of it in your own way, I guess, as a fan. So, you know what I mean? The trophy did come back to London anyway, but, just in the wrong cabinet.
Yeah.
But you got to rate Spurs fans, though, because over the last 30 years, they've got a Europa League now sitting next to a League Cup.
Yeah.
So there's 2 trophies in there now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done to Spurs fans.
Completing the set next year.
You know what I mean? Like, they can put that second shelf in now. They
actually sold their trophy cabinet, didn't they, on eBay? And I think nobody wanted to buy it, so now they've actually gone and bought it back, so they've got somewhere.
I thought you mean they must have taken it off because they've probably got something to fucking put in.
Yeah, did they put it up as slightly used?
Yeah,
opening the door after 7 years.
Brand new condition.
Yeah. Worn but never used. Stepsy says, I think that was the worst Europa League in history. Well, Well, realistically, when you look at how big Spurs and United were, they're not really supposed to be in it. Let's be honest, right? Man United got into the Europa League by default. At least Spurs got into the Europa League on merit, and that kind of showed when they played. Because as much as people make of what Spurs did over the week when they defended, let's be honest, that Man United team was pants. It really was bad. They could not exploit any. I think their first shot on target came in the last 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And that was that header. And it was just like that's all they created the whole game. And it was like, what's the word? I didn't know you could play football in the defense and midfield without using attacking players until I watched Man United. No, I'm serious. When you look at how United, I'm not even taking the Mickey. When you look at how United play. They start in the defense, they build up to the midfield, and that's where it stops.
Yeah. I would go as far as saying that I think even as much as I hate
Big up, USC.
even they could have beat Man United in that Europa final.
Well, let's just say they had more than a little luck in previous rounds, like against Lyon. I don't know how they managed to do that, to be honest. That comeback against Lyon, but that it was spectacular. But it was like, Anyway, JBT, what was your thoughts on that final? Because I know, you would probably just say they were both pricks. But what would be your take on that final? And then we'll get to our game a bit.
I wasn't even going for anybody. People were saying like, you gotta go for Man U because it's a London rival. You gotta go for Spurs because
you're American, so that doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, but it's a rival for Chelsea though, isn't it? The one.
Yeah.
And the one club that we were the ones who gave them their last cup 17 years ago, thanks to Grant. But
we can blame United now. We don't have to carry that can anymore. We don't have to take. You're the last club that helped Spurs win the trophy. We don't have to carry that can anymore, brother. We can put that to one side. That's on United's lap now.
And I was just hoping for a good game. Couldn't even get that. Just wanted to get a game for 90 minutes, but no, it had to be one of the worst finals I've ever seen. And the end of the day, the better team won. United never showed up. And what was I going to say?
I thought he was Mexican. Yeah, man. Oh dear.
It's close enough. Just don't tell Trump.
I'm not being funny. I heard JPT was Sanchez in just because he'd never go against a countryman. Didn't realize he was the wrong kind of Sanchez, and he was like, "No, get him out, get him out, get him out, get him out."
It looks Dominican, but anyways.
E-Rock goes, "Oh, you already know, JPT. You already know."
Are you legal in the USA, JPT?
Says him on camera, yes.
Well, the answer to the question, what we really know is, I want to know, are you a janitor or are you a gardener?
You just catch me like in front of a Home Depot, any Lowe's, or
fair enough, with the mop and bucket. No, I'm kidding.
It's like that joke in South Park. Oh, here's the horrible stereotypes of people, and here's
and you see the Mexican wake up. That bit killed it. Only South Park can do that. You sent me that yesterday or the day before, innit? Only South Park could get away with that. Only South Park. Here's the sleeping Mexican. Oh God. But anyway, back to our game. So, yes, lo and behold, right? What kind of game do you think it will be tomorrow for you guys? Like, what's the what shall we say? It's Forest approach to this game. What, you gonna come at us? Are you gonna defend? What's it gonna be like?
We're gonna do what we've been doing all season. Really, we're gonna defend and try and hit you on the counter. The team sheet will probably be exactly the same as it has been because that's how Nuno does it. He just keeps with the same, which I like actually. Keeps with the same players that deserve the respect. I think there's a big thing with it, same as against like with West Ham last week. We're playing for Taiwo Awoniyi because obviously he's in a really bad way, and that's
he is
a big thing as well. If we don't get UCL, I'll be honest, I ain't all that fucking bothered. I'm bothered that we might lose players, but at the same point, like I've always said,
why would you lose players?
because there's like Murillo that said he wants UCL. We at the end of the day, we don't know. But at the same point, like I've always said, if you don't want to play for Forest, then piss off. I don't care who you are, what player you are, how good you are for the team or whatever. If you don't want to give respect to that shirt and wear it, then I don't want you here anyway. So that's the only reason really for UCL for me. But this season's been absolutely amazing. I mean, like I said to you, we've been allowed to dream again. I can remember being in the Championships in the West Bridgeford, and and just thinking we ain't never going to get Premier League. Well, we've got it now, and we've had we've had an amazing season. And if Klopp hadn't have won the league, then manager would have been manager of the year.
Oh, you mean Arnie Slot? You mean
yeah, Klopp. I mean, Slot, man. If
Klopp and Slot.
And I think he's definitely in the frame as manager of the season. Still think he is, to be honest, but Slot's won the big one, so.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I mean, Forest were the only ones who give Liverpool the only loss of the season up until March, April, because they played good defensive football, catch them on counter, and I don't know. I mean, I do hope you do keep a lot of your first team, whether it's Europa or Conference League, wherever it is, but there is a team there, and as long as Nuno's there, you can do damage. I can't see them as favorites if they were to be in Europa. Oh, and if you were to play in Conference League, that easy. Put everything.
That's a good question. Good question, JPG. Well done.
You might change that. But
unfortunately, Budgie, I don't know how to get rid of it because I did it when I first came on. I don't know how you get rid of it now. It was a joke when I first came on, but
he's pulling your leg.
I didn't even see that. But
hang on, only Arsenal fans can dream. Only Arsenal fans can dream. Arsenal fans just don't. Just don't. Because I have to say, spare a moment for Arsenal fans watching Spurs celebrate yesterday.
It's like Nightmare in Elmerutz, isn't it, or something like that?
Bruv, I'm telling you, listening to Deji Spurs over the last 20, it's been Nightmare on Sesame Street.
Oh, I get yeah. 100%.
Baby, tell me how to run from Sesame Street. Deji is Oscar Grouch, I'm telling you, because he's just been popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, with Arsenal, right, and this is kind of what he was alluding to earlier, you've never seen a group of fans so proud of doing nothing, and that's not even a dig. That's not even it. That's not even a dig. Yeah, I don't mean that because I've got loads of Arsenal fans. My family's are Arsenal fans, but it's just kind of Big Mikel. He gets credit. If it was any other big manager of any other big club, they'd be told they're doing a shit job and they'd be sacked, giving up first twice. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, if that was Ancelotti or Mourinho or any of those kind of guys, you're fired. But with Mikel, it's achievement. And it's just like, bro, even in first, this guy aims for second. And it's just like, what's going on? And it's not a dig. That's not even a dig.
No, it's mental. It's absolutely mental, to be honest, the way a lot of them go on. It's just, honestly, it's just like, what planet do you actually live on? Because it ain't this one. I don't know what you're watching because, I mean, and apparently Arteta uses 142 tactics during a game, every game. I mean, anybody notice them? Because I don't.
It's always to win the dog.
What are these 142 tactics? Because as far as I know, there ain't even 142 tactics in a game.
Well, hang on. Even if there is 142 tactics, none of them worked.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's another good point. Yeah.
So, because if you win, that's what I mean. If you win nothing, how? Oh, big up, Kyle.
Yo, big up.
But yeah, and I'm just gonna quickly ask you this because I see you in the chat there. Right, as a Man United fan, I've got to ask. And this is not a joke, and this is not me trying to wind you up. But as a Man United fan, with that Europa League, a lot of it, your season hinged on it. At the end of it, I want to ask you this: right, was getting rid of Ten Hag a mistake now?
You're asking what?
If getting rid of Ten Hag was a mistake,
it depends on the timing. Getting rid of Ten Hag middle of the season was a mistake, but we should have gotten rid of Ten Hag at the start of the season after the FA Cup final.
Mm.
Also, what was another mistake was bringing in a manager who plays back three when Man United players are not used and have not mastered playing a back four.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense. And you bring him mid-season without a preseason to adapt, to make the players adapt to a back three. And United is not good at playing build-up football as well.
No,
So
no.
that's another mistake we did. And also another mistake we did is we wasted money paying for Ten Hag to be sacked. That compensation money could have been paid in the summer, and we could have signed Amorim, his players, by now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, it's not the manager's fault. We have Man United has kept changing managers for as long as I can remember. It's a player's squad. It's a player's fault. You can see the difference between a Nottingham or a City when the opponent goes down. You can see the hunger and resilience they want
Hey,
to
hello.
go back ahead or
Hi,
equalize. But if you compare to how Man United looks when an opponent scores or equalizes, you can see the motivation goes down. There's no motivation to win anymore when United concedes.
Yeah, you give up. You give up quite
Yeah.
easily. Yeah.
And keeping and changing the manager won't change that as fact. You have to change the mentality of it, and also I think also you cannot have chaos outside the club, outside the pitch, and expect chaos not to enter into the pitch. Just eventual. Just it was meant to be that United was meant to have a bad season eventually, one season or another. Because I think outside the club, outside the pitch, we are amazed. Staff members being sacked, losing their jobs. Also, what else? Also, Man United hiding and firing people as well.
Yeah, what they do with their staff is mad. That's true. That is the other thing as well. Do you think? Do you think Man United have kind of this season been painted as the enemy of football? Like kind of like, oh, even their own.
Yeah, but also what's also more annoying is that these players are seeing that Man United staff are losing their jobs, but yet we have people like Andre Onana getting angry that his salary has been cut. Like, who are you to complain about your salary being cut? At least you have a job. What about those who lost their job?
True. Let me ask JPT and Yeti this as well. What do you think of the perception of Man United is now? Because like we're both Chelsea fans. This is not the powerhouse of the Man United that we knew growing up. You know what I mean? Through the 90s, the 2000s, that kind of thing, right? And I'll start with JPT on this. Like, where do you think, with the way they've done things and the way they've implemented their new football setup, do you think this is going to be an even longer process of recovery than they think? Do you think it's going to be about 4 or 5 years before you even start seeing the best of Man United again?
That only depends if there is a big sudden change in the ownership or the way the ownership is being run, because they clearly don't care about their club. From, of course, being here in the United States, I'm not able to see what's in Old Trafford, but from everyone decides like it's falling apart. Even Ronaldo says like the pain hasn't been changed since when he first joined. They don't care. They slashed in their wages like for the whole staffing, as you mentioned. They weren't even gonna have the staff travel to Bilbao. That haven't had to pay for the staff trip there. And if they had one, they weren't even gonna do a parade. That they were just gonna have a barbecue at their grounds, which is, I mean, how much more of penny pinching and saving on wages and money can you really do? It's just really scummy. So I won't say it's United being the enemy of football. It's more so like the Ineos and the Glazers. But until they change that all around, it's just going to get worse. And I'm not sure relegation is too far fetched of a guess.
Bro, if it wasn't for the fact Ipswich, Southampton, if it wasn't for that this particular season being, bro, last season they would have been knee deep in it because it was. I think last season's relegation went straight to the wire, and it was extreme. If this was last, Spurs and United would have been in trouble, to be honest. So they can't have a repeat of this. But regardless of Spurs fans are covering up their failure in the league miserably with a Europa League trophy, but they can't do this again.
West Ham as well, they would have been in trouble as well.
Yeah.
True, and they were trophy winners themselves only a couple of seasons ago. So, and I'm not having a dig budgie. It just goes to show sometimes winning a trophy isn't this big springboard. Because I'm not being funny now, and I was going to say maybe the pressure of winning a trophy is now immense, but on the Man United front towards Carl, not winning that trophy has made the pressure even more immense. Because now next season they have to get it right. There's no if, muts, excuses about it. They have to get it right because everyone's going to say, "Sorry, JPD."
I was going to ask, who are they attracting now? There's no European football. You know, it seems like if you're a footballer, you don't want to go. Like this is the last place you want to go to. You know, that joke used to be that the last place you want to go as a baller is Spurs. At least you can win a Europa trophy there. But at United, what's there to do? They're gonna sack a manager and then bring another who's not ready. As Kyle mentioned, I think the writing was on the wall that once the way that they brought Amram in middle of the season when he should have just came in the summer after Ten Hag won the FA Cup. Thank you for being here. Now get the fuck out. Let Amram have a window. Now they're looking at him like, oh, Amram is the issue. Could be. Didn't have the right setup, but what can you work with there? And the money you got from being in the Europa final, we got most of that anyways. Thank you, Mason Mount. So it's like, really, what did you guys get? And you know, who's going to – because you guys need a striker, like a lot of clubs. You need a striker because Højlund is terrible. I don't know how he got the starting role for there over Xerxes. But you guys are looking at the lab, which if I were him, I don't know if I would go there at this point. So, I mean, really, who do you see as a realistic target that you would get to bring United back to the levels it needs to be?
What about you? Yes, what's your thought?
Well, it's tragic. It's tragic. If you know Man United from before, and replacing Ferguson was always going to be a difficult job. You know, it's absolutely tragic to see Man United are at the minute. I mean, watching that Europa League, I was like, what is this kind of attacking? I mean, Spurs can't defend. All you've got to do is attack well, and you'll get a goal against them. So, and even it made them look good as well. And I think Amarim, is the right guy, but with the wrong team. Personally, I think if it had got like Football Overseas said, if he'd have got a pre-season, if they'd have got rid of Ten Hag at that point, and he'd have got a pre-season and got his players in to work with what he's trying to do, then I think they would have been okay. But it's just tragic. I mean, we've done a double on them this season. It weren't even that difficult either. It's just tragic what's happening with Man United. And there's too many fans that's still living in La-La land for Man United who think everything's just going to turn around all of a sudden. And it's just not happening. Amarim, I think, is a good manager. I do think he's a good manager when he can get the side he needs and the players he needs.
And he did ask for more time. He did say, like, I didn't want to leave mid-season. That is well documented, and I'm sure Carl will back me up on that. That he did say, I don't want to leave mid-season. I want to come in the summer, whether it'll be at the end of the season or the previous. But they didn't quite do it that way.
No, they told him.
Yeah, he did say that clearly. He made it clear that he wanted to join at the start of the season, and I found it okay for him to join at the start of next season because. Let's look at it. Rode was doing a good job already. So why not keep Rode as interim manager until end of the season? We did that with Ten Hag. Why can we not do that with Amarim? Like Ineos, they don't have any experience in managing a football club. Look at Nice. Nice has not done that well ever since Ineos took over.
Biggest problem is your owner, though, as well, isn't it? Because he just doesn't care.
Oh, the Glazers are money vampires, man. I think they sucked 1.2 billion out of Man United.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the Glazers that have vampires alone. It is also Ineos as well. Because look at Jim. Jim Sir Jim has money to take the staff members to finals on his own. If he wanted to pay, he could have paid for it. Sir Jim has the money to fix United. He can clear the debt if he wanted to clear the debt. It's what.
And the thing is, you guys bought so many players at the beginning of the season. It's just done nothing. It's just made them worse. And you were buying guys like De Ligt and shit as well. You weren't buying no low-key names. Yeah, they bought Agati as well.
No, but to be honest, De Ligt is a good signing. The only bad signing that I could say didn't live up to full expectation was Zaxi. Zaxi is starting to live to that potential. Next season.
Well, I'm not being funny. I wouldn't mind taking a Agati of you guys. That'd be a nice little competition for Moses Caicedo, because that guy can tackle, bro. I like him. He's a bit bitey when he gets the chance. He's a good player, and I think he's.
Yeah, I like him.
Because Casemiro's finished though. That Europa League showed it. Like when the Spurs players are just countering, and you can just see he's barely keeping up. But like, let alone like catching them. Like, yeah. But I want to ask you a question now. Go back to us, because one thing I will say is that you touched on it a minute ago when you said about you'd be happy one way or the other, right? I need to ask you this big up trip. I need to ask you this question: would you, right, if it meant winning the competition, go into the Europa League over the Champions League? Because and I want to ask you this because this is, you could get Champions League football.
Yeah.
The chances of you winning it would be a lot slimmer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or you could get Europa League football, and you got a pretty good chance of winning it. To be honest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you look at the last final as an example, like, because I'm not being funny, on your day against Spurs on Man United, the proof's in the pudding. Yeah, I think you beat Man United every time you played them this year, haven't you?
Yeah, we've done double on them. Yeah.
So
yeah, you beat us.
Give me your take on that. Would you, if it meant you could win in the Europa League, would you mind that?
Not at all, mate, because at the end of the day, like I say, I mean, we've been in the Championship for 23 years. You know, we've done 2 Premier League seasons where we've fought off right to the last day to actually stay up pretty much, you know, and then we're right up in the top section of the league, and we've got no worries about relegation now. I know there's a lot of Forest fans that say, oh, UCL or bust, but at the end of the day, at the start of the season, you would have just said, let's not get relegated, you know.
I told you guys could burst into the top 10, though.
We've had an amazing season. It's been absolutely brilliant. And to be quite honest, whatever happens tomorrow, obviously during the game, I'll get animated and all that kind of stuff, and I'll get annoyed as you do. But I can't. This team's done wonders for us this season. Absolute wonders. So if it becomes Europa League, which I think we should,
happy man right there.
Yeah, if it comes down to like UCL, then yes, I think there'll be a hell of a lot of big players coming into this team because that's what Marianakis wants. How much that's all going to cost, I don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, it would be great to get to UCL. But if we got Europa, I'll take that.
No. All right, well, what would be your... Okay, now let me ask you this similar sort of question, but what would be your expectation then in the Champions League, and if you did get Europa League football, what would be your expectation there?
Well, my expectation's always the same. Win. You know,
fair enough.
We don't do processes or anything like that. We do winning, and we've got to keep up with that. And you know, if we get UCL, then we're going to keep most of the players that we've got now. Let's face it.
No, even if you got Europa League football, but you could still keep them. So yeah,
possibly, but I mean, it's like it always comes down to that, though, don't it? I mean, a lot of them want UCL. Morgan Gibbs-White and all that wants to get into the England squad and all that kind of thing. So it kind of depends who we keep and who we don't. We've got to keep this team together, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, if your club's ambitious and your chairman's ambitious, that's a must.
Exactly. Of course it is. And the owner is massively ambitious. You've seen what he's done with Olympiacos. You've seen what he's done with other teams. And you know that he's 100% about it. 100% about it. So at the end of the day, like I say, I mean, I was going back in fucking whatever year it was. I can't remember. But, you know, and I was like, thinking that we was never going to reach these heights.
Oh shit!
So,
No way!
oh, Sunderland
Oh.
have won it, have they? I had that game on actually. 2-1.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah.
You could have the scumbag derby back in
Yeah,
the Premier.
that's
I'm
what
sure all Newcastle fans are rejoicing right now.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Uh,
Wow, 12 minutes of added time?
How many?
Yeah,
It-
12
it's
minutes.
12 minutes. Because I saw it
Yeah.
was one. I thought it was 1-1 like at the 90th. I was like, oh, it's gonna go to extra time.
Have you noticed that recently, boy? The amount of games this year that have had a third half. Jesus. We're going to like ice hockey. Eventually, we'll have 4 quarters. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh god,
Halftime show.
that's why I felt sorry for. I tell you, that's the one thing I did say. I felt sorry for those Spurs fans, man. Even though I was watching the game, that 10-minute stoppage time they had the other day,
Oh,
you could
man.
hear the crowd every time. Like you just felt, ah, bless you. Imagine being there for a Champions League final. Oh, you know what that's like. You don't know what's winning ones like. Sorry. Because you can brag, because Spurs fans can brag to Arsenal. You still can't say shit to Chelsea, all right? We are the most successful European team in London. So, in terms of we have 8 trophies, Spurs have 1. I think Arsenal have 1. Like, yeah, you guys have got some catching up to do. And obviously, from the Forest fan down there will tell you he's got two stars on his badge too. So, you know what I mean? 2 times champions of Europe. Yeah, you guys have done okay, Spurs, but you still can't say shit to us.
Nah.
Sorry. But yeah, on JPT, my brother, listen, same question I put to you, that I asked Yeti, because I know it would be seen as miserable failure from a lot of Chelsea fans not to get Champions League football. And you know my feelings about, I'm not going to get into it, but what I feel about Champions League football. I think it would be too soon for us. What would be your expectation of the Champions League or the Europa League, brother? Like, put it into context from your point of view. Because we're in the same position.
Is it what my expectations like if getting there or how we?
Yeah, if we end up in one or the other, like, what would be the viewpoint on it? So obviously, it'd be would being getting into the Europa League be seen as this big a failure? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I know a lot of people were saying like we're title challenges because we're in second place for like 5 weeks,
Something like that.
something like that. But the thing is that honestly, with this squad we have right now and how the rebuilds or what the recruitment has been, I don't want to say rebuild, recruitment's been with these sporting directors and ownership. I would not want Chelsea to be represented in that way in Champions League because if you think Spurs are going to be that bad, you're being how they were this season, Chelsea might be just slightly better, but still like be embarrassed. And I wouldn't mind seeing this young side. I mean, at the end of the day, we are a young side. If they need to win on Wednesday versus Betis, get that feeling, the sense of winning, and know that they can reach a final and win it. And because right now we only have one, and we got, I won't even say embarrassed, but lost to Klopp's kids, quote unquote, when they had like 30-year-olds on their team. Our oldest player was like maybe 23, 24.
And their oldest was 32. So yeah. No, I meant the illusion of Klopp's kids. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
They're too soon to be with the goal. Wow, yeah, Sunderland made it. But yeah, no. So if we get to Champions League, great. I mean, win any and every game, and like how Yeti said, if you're in it, you gotta win it. And yeah, so I would prefer for this team to be in Europa, in my opinion.
You would prefer that?
Do I want it to happen? Do I want it for them to play Europa? No. Do I think it'd be better for them? Yes. And what I mean is that just because you don't want to throw them in the deep end, you're going to see this Chelsea team play against a rebuilding Madrid, a Liverpool, Barcelona, Inter, PSG. I'm not sure who else.
Oh, bro, can you imagine if we played PSG with their front three?
Wow. Yeah, especially
oh my God! Trevor Chalobah out right back.
And you can imagine having, Benoit.
I make me bite my nails just thinking about it. Jeez.
Levi Cole trying to go over against Dembele or Trevor.
Oh, Cole versus Dembele. Oh no.
Or who is it going to be? Tosin or Malo Gusto?
Marcus Thuram.
Or Scalia.
He would eat Levi Cole alive, bruv.
So it's financially we'd of course be better for Champions League, but let this team build as improve as they need to. Let them get Europa. So I want to win tomorrow. I want us to win tomorrow, but they just got to know what they're getting into, and also more importantly, what the ownership that these players are going to get into, because they need to rebuild the attack as needed. Jackson needs to go. The wings are trash, and we're still being linked with Edetike, Delap, Joao Pedro when there's a Gyökeres waiting to be snatched up.
Mm.
Victor Osimhen, I love him as a player, and I love him, he loved Chelsea. But the fact that he wants 400 a week because he wants to make 250 net pay, go suck a dick. Go to Saudi. Because you're not worth $500,000 a week, just because you want to collect the bag. Go to Saudi Arabia. Don't be like, oh, I want to play for Chelsea. Chelsea's my only team I want to play for, and then have Jonathan McKell be your little sponsor. Saying that, just sign it, give him a call. You pay his wages then. But this team really, if they really want to make a good performance in Champions League, they need to get the sporting directors on their side.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I think as a basis, we're all right. But in terms of my own personal point of view on it, I think Europa League level suits this team better. I'll just call it as it is, man. I expect Forest to beat us tomorrow because teams that counter us are our Achilles heel. And I'm not being funny with Poch. It was a bit more balanced because he uses the back four, but against Forest with the back three we've got, and if they got I know they ain't. Who will be up front for them tomorrow? Because obviously one you can't is injured and
that's
I would imagine it'd be Callum.
It'll be Wood, isn't it? Wood will be up. Oh my God, Wood against Colwell. Oh my God. Fuck.
Anderson's been an absolute quality signing. He's just going to get better and better as well. 35 million, absolute steal.
You've got Callum as well, yeah, as you said.
Yeah, and then you've got Langer. Langer's just come on leaps and bounds since he joined us.
Yeah, Langer's been good.
Well, there you go. Because even if Colwell plays, I don't know, man. Because bloody hell, it'll be Colwell and somebody. Whether it'll be Colwell and Colwell and Chalobah, or Colwell and what's his name, Badashili. I'm not sure, man. Because I'm not being funny. That's and JP, he knows what I'm talking about. With the way we defend, we isolate centre backs against players 1-on-1, and it's just no, that's not what you want to be doing against the counter-attacking Forest.
Because you guys play a low block very well, am I right, Yadi?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you said, they defend.
And that's
we are very good at defending. We are very good at maintaining a lead, obviously. The one against Leicester, like I say, I mean, I've been saying this most of the season. There is going to be a point where you've gone as far as you can go, sort of thing. I still think, though, because you've got the Taiwo Awoniyi situation, which in my mind is absolutely disgusting, just call an offside. I mean, it was so offside, it was unbelievable. So just call it straight away instead of this stupid thing where you keep playing. And he ended up having an injury which could have been life-threatening, so something needs to happen with that. And the players are there for Taiwo, and that's why I think we will go on and win that tomorrow. And I would also target Sideshow Bob as well, to be honest.
What, Cucurella? What, I mean, the best left back in the world?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, I've had people call him that. I've had more than one person call him that. But
he's our biggest attacking threat so far.
Yeah, he's our best number 9 at the moment. He's got more goals than Rasmus Højlund. How impressive is that?
He's got some nice dark arts about him. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah, he's got He's got that side. He's got that side.
It's Year of the Bird, so his little penguin dance probably got him doing like a little extra boost.
Budgie says, "Listen, guys, I need Chelsea to win the ESCL or the Europa Conference League to get everyone to stop calling it a third-rate trophy. I'm sick of this European snobbery." Well, I'm not being funny, Budgie. The only people that will say that is the fuckers that haven't won it. And the reason why they're going to say it is because these guys are sitting there trophy-less. So they're going to put any kind... And that's the thing about what I was saying about what Spurs need to do and what Palace need to do as well, quietly, is they can't let that be seen as the achievement and the benchmark and let it dip. Kind of what Yeti was saying about a little while ago about Forest. Yes, they got to where they are and they should be happy, but they want more. And that's what a hungry fan base should be saying. That's what they should be doing. You want to like cough, cough, Arsenal, cough, cough. You're right there, DJ Green.
Fans that celebrated 2 dinner plates.
Right.
Well, no. Well, listen to this, and I'm not me making this up, yeah. And I'll tell all 3 of you this, and I'm Budgie. Listen up, good, yeah. I had an Arsenal fan tell me earlier on in the season they would win the Charity Shield over a European trophy like Europa League or the Europa League Conference because it's not as important. And I looked up and I was just like, excuse me?
They're just gonna keep moving the goalposts.
No, JPT, come on, come on.
No, type of like
the Shield over a recognized European title.
I'm rating all the European titles. I'm rating the Conference League, not just because we're in it. I rate the Europa League.
Bro. I'm not being disrespectful. That's okay. If you want to talk about values of trophies, okay. I know a lot of people will say it's the Premier League. Some people will say that, but that's not in world football. The Champions League's first. Your own league titles second. Europa League will probably be third. Europa Conference League fourth. In our case of England, probably the FA Cup after that. Probably the League Cup after that. The Community Shield's not even on that fucking list. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Like, because a European trophy is just a European trophy. Because, no offense, you have to. And this is the thing about it, is particularly the way European competitions are now, with the way you get the extra league phases and shit now. The amount of teams you have to go through now to win a Champions League. And that's the impressive thing about if PSG win it for me or whatever. The fact that these guys have had to go through 13 games before you even got to the knockout stage, but you slowly saw Enrique put everything together in the right places. By the time they got to the knockout stages, they were a completely different team. And they went through Villa, Arsenal, and who was the other? Liverpool to prove it. You know what I mean? And it was, and everyone in England was saying, "Oh, they're such a shit team." And then it puts 3 English teams up. Ironic, isn't it? It's just like, okay, so these guys are supposed to be crap. And the very people they were calling them crap, Arsenal fans, then get put out by them.
Because then they change the narrative, like, we never wanted to. It's like being curved by a girl, and they say, either way, you're ugly, you're fat, I didn't want you no ways.
Well,
it's
like what I put, like what Budgie was saying, like, because I'm not being funny. No, as long as you are right with it, because you try telling Newcastle right now that trophy's 3rd tier. You try telling Palace right now that FA Cup's not that special. You know what I mean? They'll laugh at you. It's our trophy. We won it. We're not. Same thing with Spurs. Like, the reason why these guys are happy with these trophies is because they know they don't win often. But it's a start to something. That's the point. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not being. Even me, I'll fully say this as well. If we complete the European set by winning the Europa League Conference, I'm a happy Chelsea fan. You know why? Because we've done one thing, and I've always said this since the beginning of the season. We be the only club in world football to win every trophy available to them. The only club in world football, not Real Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Milan, or whatever. No, Chelsea. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, Chelsea never did anything to, Abramovich came in. All right, then, cool. Under new ownership, we've gone through the whole level of processing again. So no one can sit there and say, "Oh, but you spent your..." No, we didn't. Before Abramovich came, we won 5 trophies. In the 7 years before he turned up, we won 5 trophies. So, and we were 3 points away from winning the Premier League. And we already had Champions League football by the time. That's the reason why he bought us, because we had Champions League football.
Yeah.
And Liverpool didn't. That's because he was either going to buy Liverpool or Chelsea, and because we beat them on the last day of the season in 2003, right, when we got Champions League football and they didn't, that's why Abramovich bought us and saved the club, and the rest is history. And that's the point. People forget footballing achievement and history compared to trophies, and that's the one thing I have to say has been completely diluted now in because people only see success in a trophy, which is fine. But you got to look at it in a broader terms from that, because I'm not being funny. It's not like Chelsea, Forest, Man United. These clubs aren't 5 years old. They're not like Man City, where, we've won our first Champions League. Yay! Like, if you're United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Forest, you've done that ages ago. It's about getting the next slot and 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 the next slot, and that's what Forest were used to doing it. Chelsea Man United 100% used to doing it. You know what I mean? We were serial winners, and that's what we want to go back to again. That's why and that's why I'd be happy with the Europa League, because it's a start. It can build something. You know what I mean? But like I just said with Spurs, that pressure there still has to be there. With you have to achieve more the following. You can't dip off. Like he said, you got to keep your foot on the pace here.
100%.
So you know what I mean? Because it's not just. And I say this again, and I'm sure Carl will tell you, that's the amazing thing about United. If they would have won that Europa League conference, they would have won trophies in 3 seasons in a row, and they're still considered a failure. Deep that for a second.
Yeah.
Seriously, they would have won 3 trophies in 3 seasons, and they would have still been considered a failure. How about that?
Yeah.
And you look at how gassed Newcastle are with their trophy. You look at how gassed Spurs are with their trophy is. And then you look at the starting for United, even with that Europa League trophy, just scraping in Champions League football, it would still have been seen as a hideous failure. So there's the standards there. You know what I mean? United can't match their own standards anymore. You know, Forest are trying to get back to the good old days of the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s when they had really, really, really good teams. And I'm not being funny. That team that bounced back from what was then the first division and went back into the Premier League at the time, with Clark as well, very underrated team. With Alan Clark, that had some, but you had the Collymores in that lot, and that team had ballers. Ballers. You know what I mean? That really did. Just the Piercy's. Was Piercy still there? Was he gone? Had he gone by the time you guys got promoted? Because I know Crossley was
still there. We had Collymore, Brian Roy, Lars Bohinen. Proper good players back then. You know, and I think, like, looking at the team now, I think we've got some proper quality players now. And the thing is, we picked them up for next to nothing, really. You know, I mean, Murillo is a definite world star. There's no doubt about that. Or he's getting on to being that. He's just such an amazing defender. Bringing in Milenkovic was a massive thing, because last season we couldn't concentrate when it came to defending. He's come in and he's just and he was only 13 million or something like that. So I was having this discussion with someone the other day. You've got to start signing players that are more expensive, you know, bigger money and all this, that, and the other. Why? Not done that. We've got third. Well, we haven't got third now, but we have been third. You know, we've staved off relegation and we've had a great season. I'd rather buy players that you can build on, basically, than a Gyökeres. I mean, look, I like Gyökeres, don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant player, but if he comes in, then where does Woods go? You know, you've got to think about all those kind of things as well. So it's like, I mean, I have heard that we're interested in Gyökeres. I don't think that we're going to be spending 100 million on a striker, to be quite honest with you. I'd rather have Rory Delap to come up. Is it Rory Delap or Liam Delap?
I was going to ask
Liam Delap.
I'd have Liam Delap and have him coming on forwards.
Yeah, Rory Delap. You need those for long throw-ons, man. Bro. Those throw-ons were monstrous. That he could cross it with his hands. It was nuts. Yeah, man. Hats off. But yeah, fully. And would you say that's not a similar thing for us as well, JPT? That's one of the other reasons why, we want Champions League football, is because we can attract these players and attract these stars. Because we are in a similar position, really, innit? We're in terms of. That's what we're looking to do. We want the bigger and better names. We want someone to replace Jackson. You know what I mean? In fact, they're doing one better than us, because at least they got a Chris Wood. Hey, man, if you guys are getting rid of it, I'll tell you what, if you could nab me Chris Wood and Sab Larson from Wolves, sorry, babe.
No, you're not having him.
You're not. I want. We are.
Wow.
We're going to buy him.
You're not.
We're going to buy Seb Larson.
You're not having him again. Not on anyone else.
15 mil.
No.
Domestic violence on screen.
Wow.
You're not having him.
Yeah, but if we had, say, Seb Larson.
No.
And Anna Delap.
So many what ifs.
Well, we could buy him. Well, you're getting rid of Cunha, innit? You might as well have a fire sale. Sorry, anyway, we're getting distracted. I'm gonna get my ass kicked when we go off there.
Yeah, you will.
Anyway, yeah, but so, no, but it's true though, isn't it, JPT? We could get like a okay, maybe not Osherman because I think that particular boat sailed. Gulcares was another one that was just mentioned. You know, he would be quite a fit. I don't want to see someone like Benjamin Cisco from DS9. From
Arsenal looking to be the favorites for him now. So please get that over the line, Arsenal. Just get him off the table, so that way we don't have to be rumored with this guy anymore. Because I don't think he's going to do well.
You pulled their pants down with Havertz. Absolutely pulled their pants down.
Bro, that was King Kai to them about 6 months ago. I don't want to hear it. Because I'm not being funny, right? Even Lee Gunner said once that Mikel Arteta unlocked him. And I was just like, bro, what did he unlock? It's like a treasure chest with nothing in it.
It's just
you know what I mean? And I love Lee, but it's just like, but one thing about it is with no offense, yeah, with the Kai Havertz thing, he has his uses, but because it's all been put on him and Jesus, on Jesus himself, neither was an out-and-out goal scorer, and they've just been spunking money and stuff they didn't really need, to be honest. So, you know, with Arsenal, they've got the same problem they had like 3 years ago. They needed a striker. They bought Kai Havertz. All right, you bought Kai Havertz, but you still need a striker. You didn't buy one. And you let go. Who's that other boy they got rid of as well? He's a striker in Europe. He plays in France now.
Balogun?
Oh,
Balogun. Yeah, Balogun. He's not bad. Why didn't they keep
Balogun is a
him?
good player.
Why didn't they keep him? Like, and got rid of Eddie.
They sold him for 47 million.
Oh my God! I just realised Eddie Nketiah has won a trophy and Arsenal haven't. Your defense is in trouble. Your defense is in trouble. Oh God!
Money stuff. I mean,
Fucking hell! Eddie Nketiah won a trophy before Arsenal under Arteta. What? I'm just putting that into context. What?
Wow.
Say what?
That's crazy.
Well, no, you can't say Spursy. That's Arsey. That's what you got to say it now. You can't say Spursy because they won a trophy. It's Arsey. It's official. It's Arsey now. It's not Spursy. It's Arsey. And I'm not even.
Well, actually, Willock has as well.
Oh yeah, Newcastle. Good Willock. Your defense is in trouble. Oh yeah, ain't that a bitch? Spurs win a trophy just after Harry Kane. Ain't that a bitch? Like, come on, like. I know God's being nice, but you have to be nice to all of them. Like, come on.
Yeah, crazy.
Like,
Harry Kane, Eric Dyer.
I know, bro. You want to know a joke thing? Scott McTominay's just won a trophy, and Man United hated him. He just won. He's champion of a league right now, and Man United are just sitting there in 17th, trophyless. It's just
no. But to be honest, McTominay is not a bad player. He's a good player.
He was
but
he got a lot of like slack for when he was at United for some reason. I don't know why they kept seeing him as the issue.
No,
bro, that guy always used to score against Chelsea as well somehow. I'm hating him.
For me, I love
McTominay
over Casemiro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
will have just got McTominay over Casemiro anytime.
You know.
Well, no, Casemiro. I'm afraid that guy. His legs have gone. That's all. If the thing is with Casemiro, if you played him in a proper holding role where he didn't have to bomb up the pitch, it wouldn't be so bad. But because you get your midfield, your midfield is your attack basically because of Bruno and all that lot. So your midfield is just way too far out the pitch for me when it comes to Man United, man. And your attacking players, like the other night, like. Why did it take him so long to bring Garnacho on? Man United had no threat until Garnacho come on, and it was clear. Why didn't that guy start? I don't get it.
I think he was doing.
No, like for me, what I don't get is why did Luke Shaw start? Why do people like Mount? Like Mount shouldn't have started. Mount will be on the bench as a sub coming on. People like Hodgland should have been on the bench. Should have been benched. Let Zaxi start, even if Zaxi turn back from injury. I'm sure Zaxi can do a better job than Hodgland can. Like I was upset when I saw Shaw starting, when I saw Mount starting, when I saw Hodgland starting. Like those are the guys. And then also something like Onana. I think I saw a story where Inter's president admitted that he wanted to sell Onana for 15 million. And he talked about selling for 50 million, and United accepted that. Like Onana is overpriced. Like, why will you pay 50 million for a second choice goalkeeper.
Well, the defense in front of him don't help him though.
No.
Because as much
No, but
as okay, because I'm not being funny, yeah. Even on his Europa League final performance, well, not what I was watching the other night, Onana wasn't the problem. He really wasn't.
Well, neither.
no, but a goal he conceded, that was a problem.
Well, that came off. Yeah. Well, I thought that was an own goal, but they credited it to Duncan, didn't they? But for me, that was an own goal more. But you know,
It was an embarrassing goal that he conceded. He was going to save it, but he slippery hand let it in.
Well, yeah.
I'll be back in. I've left my beer in the freezer.
All right, brother. No worries. Well, I'm gonna quickly start asking people because what JPT what do you think is our chance about getting at Forest tomorrow? Because we're gonna, because they're gonna counter us. They're gonna counter us big time. Do you think that defense is good enough to hold on, or
we're gonna really have to require like pace and for our fullbacks and hopefully just our whole defense in general. We should.
Would you go 4 in the back or stick with the 3? Well, I would go 4 because we just need the numbers there, man. I feel.
I mean, they're gonna have either Cucurella or James bombing up forward, or Cucurella inverting to the midfield, anyways.
So, yeah, they're gonna invert, obviously.
As long as besides that, I was going to talk about Gusto being misused, but I mean, it's going to be a team that wants to play possession football in Chelsea versus a team that would welcome the counter attack in Forest. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of goals. It's probably just going to come down to like a 1-0, even 1-0 draw. Man, you know what's when you guys were talking about the last time we played over there. All of our goal scorers from last season at City Ground are not with the team. You know, it's being Jackson, Sterling, and Gallagher. So it's interesting to see if this team, especially with this attack that we have, is going to get past Milenkovic, Morello, and
who would you start?
Neto up front. I know Gu's going to come back. He's not at 100%. I wouldn't force him more than just like 30 minutes at most. Sancho's going to be fresh since he couldn't play in the United game. I would prefer to have Palmer over on the right wing, but that's not going to happen. They're going to force him to play in the cam, even though I think maybe that should be more for Enzo, just so we can have Lavia and Caicedo in the midfield together instead of having Caicedo invert, because that didn't work. So yeah, what I prefer, that's up front. Sancho and Palmer on the wings. I'm expecting Neto up front, Noni, and Sancho to be starting. Which I'm not too excited with that front 3.
Well, you reckon it'll be Lavia, Enzo, Cancelo, what? Balashidi? Not Balashidi, sorry.
Colwell.
I don't know. Who's going to be the man next to Colwell? Because you know he'll start Colwell, and there'll be Cucurella on the left.
Chalobah.
Well, the thing is, what's his name again? Not Balashidi. What's the other? Adebayoye? I'd rather see him and Chalobah. I don't want to see Colwell starting. Not against Wood.
Exactly. Tosin and Chalobah would be the best pairing against an attack that includes a tall ass monster that is Chris Wood. And I think our fullbacks can deal with the pace of Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anderson. So I mean, but and even Alanga too. But it's gonna be interesting of a game. Just as long as Sanchez doesn't have his a Sanchez moment, I don't want to say we're gonna keep a clean sheet, but we should just give them a goal. Give them a goal just because they banned Gary Neville from the stadium. So big up to them for that already. I'm not sure why they did it, but good.
No, it
was. Forest legitimately banned Gary Neville from the stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that game.
Fair enough. Hang on. Kyle, who's your last game of the season against?
Villa.
You got Villa, innit, at home?
I don't think it even matters because there's nothing to fight for that game.
I mean, it's for
I
pride.
cannot
It's the
build.
only thing.
Not even pride.
Last home game of the season.
No, at this event, players even will even fight for pride anymore. I feel like after that final, the team is so disjointed. Players are against each other. Like Villa is more organized than us, and Villa is fighting for UCF football. So I will not be surprised if Villa wins tomorrow.
Scoreline?
I think Villa will win 2-1 tomorrow.
What do you think our game will be, JPT?
I'm hoping a 2-1 win. I really doubt we'll keep a clean sheet, but a 2-1 win for Chelsea. And
Well, I'll tell you what. Hopefully, I think we'll draw. I think that's the best thing we can hope for. Is a draw. Maybe 2-2, 1-1.
would that see us over the line though? For Champions League football, because
Maybe it depends on how the other games go with Villa and not Newcastle because they're above us. Who's the other one? Is this Villa? City. That's it. It depends. It depends because I think we'd only be able to match City though if we drew. So like it's all good.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, but I was gonna wait for Yeti to come back from his beer, but the brother doesn't seem to have come back. But we've been streaming for 1 hour and 10, so I'll tell you what, yeah. Well, give him another couple of minutes so we can get his opinion. If not, we'll split. But I want to ask JPT, it's sum up our season for us, bro. So far, like, because do you think the whole Europa League conference thing could patch up if we don't make Champions League football, or do you think that's a hideous failure?
If we end up playing Europa, do I consider that a failure?
With a trophy, though.
Oh, okay. So if we win a trophy, and this is the one thing I was worried about at this point of the season, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, we don't have to go all out versus."
Oh, there it is.
We can be more focused on.
I didn't tell me you were there. What a Wangstein. Never mind. Sorry about that. Yeah.
It's all right.
You want,
Well, no, it was 1 plus, but never mind. Yeah, sorry, JPT.
I was just gonna say if you wanted to get Ye's prediction, but I'm
gonna let you finish, innit? I'll ask you.
Yeah, I was just worried about being like this is gonna be in the situation. It's like, okay, we can not try versus Forest because then we can get Europa still and then leave with the trophy versus Betis, since we're complaining about we're only gonna get 2 days rest while they have 4 days, which really shouldn't matter. I do think it's a failure because we need to win. We have 2 finals. I don't think we should be winning any finals at this point. Just win Forest, win Betis, and the season with Champions League football, end it with the trophy. We can laugh at Arsenal if we want because we ended up having a better season than them at the end of the day. But yeah, no, just failure's not an option. End of the day.
Fair enough. Yes, give us a scoreline for tomorrow, bro. On.
About 8-0, I think.
You fully confident on that, are you?
First half only.
First half only, yeah. It's gonna be a cricket score.
Yeah, I'd say something like maybe 2-1 or something like that, or maybe even a 1-0 because we don't actually score that many goals. But I am quite confident that we're going to be going out there for Taiwo 1 year. We're going to finish the season on a high as well. So I do think we will win it tomorrow. Woods hasn't scored now since he's come back for a fair while, so I think he's probably going to be chomping at the bit. I think our strikers, we just have that little bit more than what you've got in defence. The biggest issue, I think, is Cole Palmer, as I always say, because the man is an absolute magician. He's a cracking player, and he's going to have to be watched. I think the team will be pretty much exactly the same as what it was against West Ham. Dominguez is starting to come on now. He's looking good as well. Things get a little bit shaky, then we'll bring Yates on to take legs out because that's what he was and that's what I love him for. And I do think we're going to win it, guys. To be quite honest with you, I have no issue with Chelsea, as you know. Love you guys anyway. And but I think we'll go out on a good one tomorrow, personally.
Fair enough. Well, I was just saying to JPT that I think the best hopeful possible outcome we could probably hope for is a draw. I know a lot of people want to win, But yeah, man, I just think like if, and JPT knows I'm not making this up, that if Enzo goes how he does tactically normally, I can just see your attacking players getting isolated against our centre backs, and as we go to a 3, as we push up the pitch, and the amount of space we leave is just, it's frightening, man. It really is. It depends. But then again, if he does what he did a couple of weeks ago when he tried to play deeper with all of us starting from the other side of the pitch, like in terms of in our own half, we might be able to cause you guys problems. Counter the counter, I guess. But
if you come at us, then we'll pick you off. Same as we've done with Manchester City, same as we've done with like other teams. If you sort of take more of a, which to me is a more smarter way, and which is why Newcastle have had our number most of the time this season, because we both play the same kind of thing. We don't like go at each other, you know. So it's down to, if you guys come at us, then I think we'll pick you off with a counter. But we've got to do it quick. We've got to do quick passing, and the passing's got to be accurate. And I would love to see a Murillo screamer from 40 yards, because he has so many attempts at it, but just doesn't get it right. So it'd be nice to actually see that tomorrow. But like I say, as I've said, whatever happens tomorrow, it's been an amazing season. Absolutely amazing, mate. I couldn't have asked for anything better other than win a Premier League or win the FA Cup, obviously. But, you know, it's just been amazing.
Happy, man. That's what it matters.
100%. 100%.
On to the next. Excuse pause. Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
But yeah, I'm not being funny. I would likewise see that. Okay, like JPT was saying, if we got Europa League football with a team where it's at and a trophy to go with it, I wouldn't consider that a failure. I'd consider that an improvement from last season where we were just 6th and we hadn't won a trophy. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, success is success of some kind. So, you know what I mean? You can always build off that. But yeah, but look, we're going to call it there because it's been a nice little stream. We're going for an hour and 10 or something like that. So it's been good fun. It's been good fun. So make sure you subscribe to the long-haired one and Carl. If you haven't, do so. Get the Yeti's Cave and Overseas Football. And Yeti, what you got coming up, my brother?
Yeah.
Well, I'll probably be doing Final Whistle about 7 o'clock tonight. If anyone wants to jump on, I always just drop the stream into the chat if anybody wants to jump onto it. Obviously, finishing Doom, Dark Ages, doing the games, doing the movies. Got a few movie reviews coming. Watch the Final Destination, the new one. Watch that, mate. It's brilliant. It is really good. It's back to what it used to be. It's quality, honestly. And yeah, so it's basically just that. Movie reviews, game reviews, Demolition, where I get demos off Steam and just play them and see what I think about them and stuff like that. But other than that, just being an arse and trying not to get arrested for it.
Fair enough. Carl, what you got coming up, my brother?
I've got an end of season review coming up, and also I've got Man United keep loan sale coming up. Then also got the Champions League final preview coming up. So those are like around 4 streams, coming up.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, well, make sure you check out Overseas Football. You know, I mean,
tomorrow. I forgot that.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh look, there you go. We've been spending an hour talking about it, and the bastard forgot it. Like, nice. Like, anything coming up? Nah, nothing. Like, not at all. I'm assuming JPT, you're free for our watch along tomorrow. I'm guessing because obviously it's the last day of the season. Can't do it without the Mexican. Like, you need that paprika spice, you know.
gotta get the beers ready and ready to see how this goes down.
Just mate, and then come on stream.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm free most of tomorrow. I've been doing some washing, so I'm good for should be just about anything really. It depends actually, because you might need to bring your janitor's mop to clean up my tears, JPT. It depends. You never know. You know what I mean? Let's brush up Wolfie's tears. But anyway, big up to everyone in the chat. DJ Crane, obviously the 80s Cave was there as well. Big up for keeping it. Who's there yet? I didn't. Forrest.
I think that's Adama. He makes these different names up, so big up to you.
Oh, is that Adama? Is it? Big up to you, bro. I ain't seen you in ages. But DJ Crane, Budgie, it was Stepsy was there a little while ago. Rosie was there a little while ago. Bargav was there a little while ago. Trip Vic, obviously Eric the Red. Big up to you, brother. Penny Issue, Aberdeen Celtic. Oh dear.
So 1-1 in the penalties. Okay, 3-3.
All right. Well, JPD's doing an unannounced Scottish washing up.
I thought it was gonna be a blowout from Celtic. Aberdeen's holding that. They're doing this for Fergie, man.
Well, wait on. Well, put it this way. In terms of the Blues Brothers, me and JPT obviously will be back tomorrow for the game. I'm not sure if we're going to do like what we normally do, a little one, or we might wait until next weekend and have a big season review with many Chelsea fans as we can scram on it. We'll see. It will depend on who's free because we've got a lot of people that like to come on at times, and sometimes we get so many people on at once they talk over each other. So yeah, I might just do it. You sit in the back, and when I'm ready to ask you a question, I'll bring who knows. But we'll try and see what we can sort out there. But everybody, stay safe. Good night. Have a good weekend, and obviously enjoy the summer. Peace.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Good.